Hi guys, welcome back, and I start this video by showing you guys this video that the Secretary of Treasury Department, that Steve Munich, was taken with his wife in his airplane. How did the money is printed? And this is something like you guys can see. I don't know if it's. I know that these guys, they have been studying in big universities that in the United States, like Yale, Harvard, or all these uh, millionaires universities, that which all these presidents and senators and all the lawyers, they've been prepared in those big universities, and to become uh, in any cabinets under any administrations like this Secretary of States. But the point is, I think it is fair to have some people that have this printing of money, and they have all the power they want, and they have all the millions, like house, airplane, cars. And I think it's not fair. At the meantime, so many hard-working people in the farmers that they don't even make $10 an hour. And I think it is fair, as we understand, as you and me, as me, I'm sitting here talking. But I know, like, every day that I sit down to eat something with the family, and I see the fruits, I see the veggies, I always ask to myself, what about those people that work on the farm in the United States? Or what about those people that work on the farm in Mexico, Central America, South America? Do you think they have a decent life too? Do you think that they don't have the right to go to work 10 hours, 11 hours a day under the sun, and come back at home, and they have a decent house to spare their times with their family and to make a living, like so many of us, like with air conditioners and watching a TV at home with your kids, with your family? I think those peasants, they have the right to have the same opportunity in the same type of work, that if they work hard 10 hours a day under the sun, I think it is fair to get paid at least $25 an hour, so they can make a living with their family, which they can go to work under the sun when they come back at home, they can spend some times with their children, with their wife, in a decent house, with all this community, like most of these people living in the city that they have. So that's the point of this video, and about this channel too, that what we're trying to do is to create in a universal money, a universal currency for all the 5 continents. Because I think we have so many examples, universal things that we share as a human in no matter which continent. Just like a phone. I think everybody, any country, has a phone to communicate, or any like social media like YouTube. I think anybody around the world watches a YouTube in any big series. I know some cities, some people, they haven't seen any of those technologies. But just like a Facebook, I think any continent, any country, they have a Facebook. This is something that the human shares in between, no matter what color, but there is something that unites us as a human. So under this thought, under this idea, we can create a currency, a money, universal money, in each continent. Like the America, we should make a peso, American peso. And then the other side of the money, we can create the human peso, which contains the picture of our planet, and each continent, they can have the same thing too. Africa, Asia, they can put their picture of the continent in the money, and we should end all the pictures and all the money, just like a dollar. And I know George Washington, his picture stands for something, but that means there is cultural problem, just like in Ecuador, in El Salvador, that they use dollar currency, but that means it's accumulating for so many peoples about using the United States money and about having George Washington pictures in their national currency. So I think that must end, just like in Mexico. The dollar, it doesn't have the same power. If you have a $1 in Mexico, they have 20 pesos. Or in Colombia, $1, I think 1 million pesos. In Venezuela, a bolivar makes a lot of difference. So that's why we have to create one currency in this continent. So this is the only way to end those political issues that the Petro, even Nicolás Maduro, now trying to push social issues, solving problems about the Petro currency. And I think that's the first step that the America Patria Grande is taking. And I know it will come more in Alba, CELAC, because that's the way that the American people is standing and is going now in the Summit of Americas. And I hope Nicolás Maduro stands for that universal money, a new world order to start. So that's the idea of any Anglo speaking, of any European speaking English or Spanish. I think we have so much to think, to talk about it, but that's the idea, to create a new money under our human spirit of unity as a person, as a human we are. Thank you guys, and will we start coming back talking about how to create a political groups in each country. In the United States, the Democrats and Republicans must end for those two parties, and all the electoral college voting system, it has to end, and we must create a social party leading by Bernie Sanders and the new generation that now they fighting for a gun control. And I really appreciate and I really see this coming to the young generation, specifically to those students, Florida students. Now they standing up against the government to make a gun control in the United States. And I know now we're making a movement, a political movement, a millennial movement, searching for peace and searching for equality and respect as a human and as American, leading the currency, universal currency, a universal political new world orders in our planet. Thank you guys, and share it, and we'll be come back.